Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share messages I get from Spirit and from everyone that's on this journey to love, to reunite with our twins. And yesterday was the full moon in Pisces, and there's been some extremely emotional energy coming up to the surface. And if you've experienced this as well, then just breathe and give yourself a moment, and just take this moment to just be really kind to yourself and just keep saying, everything's gonna be okay. And breathe in golden energy and breathe out dark smoke. Let all of the crap flow out of you. And breathe in golden energy and out dark smoke. And whenever you have a moment where you feel like your emotions are going to get the better of you, just take some time out to do that, and then just say, I know everything's going to be okay. I have trust, I have faith. I have faith in my path. So with that, I'm going to share a letter that I channeled for somebody yesterday, because it's a letter from her divine counterpart, and it really expresses from their side what's going on, which is why you might have experienced these energies in some way in your life. You know, it doesn't have to be with your twin, that's the thing. It can just be with other people. It's just a way that you're experiencing these energies, because we're all experiencing energy in different ways and transmuting it in different ways as well. As a light worker, you know, as a transmuter of the fear and doubt into the light. So, you know, everyone's situation is different, but there are common energies that we all work with. So the question that the lady asked was, what obstacles are you overcoming, and what do you want to tell her? And so it is every obstacle about doubting myself, doubting whether I'm good enough, doubting whether I can be in a long-term committed relationship. It's not that I don't want that, that's the dream. She is the dream, but I question whether I've got what it takes to make her happy, and I want her to be the happiest that she can be. I love her with all my heart, so I don't want to hold her back. I don't want to be a burden to her. I want to be a hero for her. I want the impossible dream of coming in and sweeping her off her feet, treating her like a princess, giving her the world. And right now, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I've got what it takes. I question myself all the time. Okay, so bearing in mind that we are the mirror, how has that, so that, when I read this, when I did this letter yesterday and I read it back, because I don't take it in when I do it, it's not until I read it back that I'm like, oh wow. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly all of the things that have been coming up over the last sort of week or so for me, and that feeling and starting to question yourself again, and, you know, all of those things. And so we are the mirror, and it's, again, it's although that's you know, everyone knows that, but it's not until you actually properly have that moment again, then you're like, yes, of course, we are the mirror for each other. And therefore, to be compassionate that we are working with collective energies, and we are all taking a bit of that energy and working through it the best we can. And again, it's another way of being really compassionate again on the journey, because, you know, when you take the energy in the 3D, things can get really kind of like out of hand really quickly. And that's not real. That's not real, because our truth is about love. Our truth is about being love and coming here to be love and to express love in its purest form. And so to get back to that, wading through all of the mud, if you like, is a challenge. And so therefore you need to give yourself a pat on the back and be compassionate for you and your twin, because it's an amazing job that you're doing, and you should never forget that you are doing a job. So you are doing a divine job, and that is a task in itself. You are a bearer of the light, and that is amazing. So just take a moment to tell yourself that you are amazing. So I'm going to read through it again because I think it just gives us all of that little moment to go, oh yeah, I remember what we're dealing with. So every obstacle about doubting myself, doubting whether I'm good enough, doubting whether I can be in a long-term committed relationship. It's not that I don't want that. That's the dream. She is the dream. But I question whether I've got what it takes to make her happy. And I want her to be the happiest that she can be. I love her with all my heart. So I don't want to hold her back. I don't want to be a burden to her. I want to be a hero for her. I want the impossible dream of coming in and sweeping her off her feet, treating her like a princess, giving her the world. And right now, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I've got what it takes. I question myself all the time. So, if there's ever a moment to feel very compassionate and just think, oh yes, we're all just working through these energies, and there has been a huge wave of insecure energy. That is what I can see, that has created insecurity. And it's the ending of a karmic cycle, right? And so there had to be a big push before you get to the end. And again, that's just the way it is, right? That is just the way that energy and this journey works. Before you have a breakthrough and you go up a level, it gets super hard. And so we just need to acknowledge that. Okay, so I'm going to pick an energy for the day for the Starman Tarot. And it's the King of Wands. Oh my word. We had the Queen of Wands yesterday. So we progressed from the Queen to the King. The divine couple, right? The divine spiritual warrior couple. The King and Queen of the spiritual truth. So the message for today is, I seek to change the world. Of all of the kings, the King of Wands is the charismatic ruler of his people, an imposing, inspiring figure. He is the archetypal man of action with unbelievable reserves of energy, creativity, and vitality. He is masterful in not only initiating change, but applying the principle and discipline needed to see it through to its fruitful end. The king symbolises phenomenal inner strength, courage and leadership, and understanding the volatility of fire, is able to harness its force for the good of all. Fire starter. You are a fire starter. Never forget that. So the King of Wands has always been a very powerful card for me, symbolising the power to disrupt in a truly creative and peaceful way. His body is made from aromatic resin-coated kindling, the heartwood found in the stumps of ancient longleaf pines, which blazes hot and bright. Of course, he would be a tree, wouldn't he? If you look there, again, I love it because it's all the crystal grid I do is all based around the forest lovers who are entwined together around the oak tree. And I am very much about using the ancient wisdom of the trees to root these spiritual connections into the physical. And we're all creating a forest on this planet, you know. The weaker trees are supported by the bigger trees. You know, everyone needs help on this journey at some point, you know. That's just, you know, we are part of a community all helping each other. So I love that he's made out of heartwood. Oh. So the king in ancient times was perceived as a god, the crown often spiked like the rays of the sun god. This king wears a crown of thorns, an emblem of conscious humility for his authority is rooted in the manifest world. His wand creates new forms of life, symbolising just how powerful the human imagination is. We create our own reality. The creative process begins with regeneration, so don't be too quick to discard your ideas. Let things grow before you decide what must be pruned back. Working with Bowie, I was constantly reminded that every aspect of a design or artistic creation contains the potential to be a game changer. I experienced him as phenomenally disciplined, relentless in keeping the integrity of the vision, able to zoom in on a detail that would be seen as significant and coax something significant from it. At the same time, I was struck by how affirmative and generous he was to others. encouraging them to shine despite being phenomenally busy and constantly in demand. Likewise, the King of Wands is a mentor to those around him, especially his children. Coaching them to reach their full potential is of supreme importance, whatever his work schedule and obligations. His world is exciting and action-packed, and he will encourage his children to use their initiative, take risks, and to go out and explore the world. This, for me, is the essence of leadership, to be totally committed and direct in your purpose, and at the same time giving others the opportunity to be fully birthed as the person they carry the potential to be. And the message is inner strength, courage, and leadership. Stand up for yourself and others, be direct in your purpose, and apply self-discipline. So, I love that, because that is everything, that we are doing. And it is about self-discipline, because it is, you have to apply self-discipline to be able to manage your way through the energies without getting, crazy and letting it get the better of you. You're here to be a master energy transmuter, and you're here to work with the light and understand that. And so that's a job, right? And like any job, you have to hone your skill, and you have to treat it like a job, and you have to treat it like a skill. And mastering your energy is a skill. But this message is very much about saying that you're here to master that, and you are the King of Wands. Yesterday we had the Queen of Wands. So I love that. We have the King and the Queen of spiritual truth. Basically the divine feminine, divine masculine energies, which is, again, a lovely, lovely, lovely little message. So today I'm going to do a Work Your Light card, which is by Rebecca Campbell. And the Work Your Light card they want to say is this one, which is take a leap. You go first and the universe will catch you. So I think that comes along with, working, how are you being told to spread your light? What are you being told to do? Is pushing you to take that leap and to go for it. So here we go. This is the message. So life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to take a leap. To throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual, or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission simply to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know in hope of something new, and it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising, and right now this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip. The trees again. I told you to allow what once was so full of life to fall away. Leaf by leaf, for a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. You go first, take a good run, and leap. Now what I notice is, as soon as I start working with the crystal grid and doing stuff, the trees make their presence really well known. So everything's been about trees recently. And the reason why is because I had to go and get loads more photos printed for the crystal grid to send out to people that are joining. And so in the shop, this is the picture of the grid that when I send it out with the rose quartz, you can then start to create your own grid, put your own crystals on it, put your own altar around it. And when I went to print them, in the print shop was a huge fox, and they were a mirror of each other jumping up. And so today is all about using the power of the fox to help you come out of tricky situations, to help you come home. The power of the fox is extremely powerful. Fox medicine, very powerful. Helps you get out of any situation. Helps you to come home. All right. I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.